date. See the way it looks like now, last updated. I think we'll have this in front and then have the exact date. Remember how we did it before? All we had to do was put format. You just put this arrow, format, and then you start typing the format. So we need the hour first, then the minute. Okay, the minute, I think this is okay. Then we have dash, then we have the day, then we have the month, and we have the year. That's it. I can refresh this. So if you want to understand this more, I think one more thing we can add is the AM or PM. I think it should be AM or PM. Alright, so 6 p.m. 9 minutes after 6 p.m. on Wednesday, February what? What's the date? So it should carry Wednesday, February month, Wednesday, small d. So if you want to learn what I'm doing, you just need to Google date formatting in PHP. You'll see the different date formats, but that's basically how to do that. Okay, now we have 6 p.m. on Wednesday, 27 February 2019. Very beautiful. So we just need to copy exactly what we have here. Of course, there are many other formats. If you're wondering if there are better other ways to write it to your taste, you just need to Google PHP date format in PHP. So basically we're good. 1 p.m. This period. I think this makes sense. And one more thing is maybe the general size is okay for you. For me, I would have preferred to reduce it a little, but it's all fine. It's all fine. Now there is this description of the course. There's about instructor, there are the tags, there are what will student learn, and target students requirements. Now we need to clear up the price, discount price and the actual price. We need to find a place to put it here. Where would be the perfect place to put price? I think it should be somewhere below here. Alright, so we will go here and do a discount price, actual price. We'll just copy the two of them, cut. I'm removing it from here and I'm going all the way up. Now where we're looking at the subtitle, I think the subtitle should occupy a short percentage of the screen. It should occupy okay, I think this should have been MD. MD occupy is 8, okay. I doubt, but I'm thinking 6 should be okay, so that we can add the price in here. Look at what I mean. Div class. Of course, you can have your own design. MD 6. Alright, so that the pricing can take the other 6. Div, and we're good. Then paste. I pasted this inside the second div, so let's see what it looks. So this looks like what I want, a little like what I want. I want the description, the subtitle to come here, alright, while the pricing is somewhere here. So this pricing, we're gonna have to do what we did before, where we had to cancel the actual price and put the discount price. So the actual price right under the discount price. Okay, I think I should just copy this and paste here. So I've saved it just to go check it out and see what it looks like. And of course, I don't want this. We don't need to tell people that it's the price. Once they see a dollar sign, they're going to know straight up that it is the price, so this will be gone. Once you see a dollar sign, and because of that, I don't think I actually need this. All I just need is to drag this to this place. Delete. Delete. Okay, so we're good. Load. Beautiful. Now we can expand the size. What could be a good size? I think we may have to put it in a heading. H3. Let's see how big H3 is. H3. Starting to make sense. H3 kind of makes sense. Otherwise, we could just leave it to where it was. I think I'll use span here. Using span kind of makes sense. Duplicate the line. Did I do that twice? Okay, I just duplicated the line. Copy this, paste here, and there are many other things you can do, but I can temporarily separate this from here. Put a dollar sign here, put a class here. Is it class style? Put a style here that says font size. Let's say 18. Let's see what 18 pixels font size will look like. Too big or too small? Yeah, it is too small. I would have put it at 30. Let's see what 38 looks like. Yeah, makes more sense now. Alright, makes a little more sense. So I'll do the same thing here, and for half the size, put a dollar sign. For half the size, I'll put it at 18, and font text decoration, line dash through. That's how you make a strike through in a text. Let me put this here. I'm trying to make sure that you can see the whole everything I'm doing. Alright, so I'm writing an inline CSS. Reload. Beautiful. So this is cancelled. This is what it is now. Okay, cool. Now the last thing we need to add is a pay button for someone who has not bought this course. So how do we know if someone has bought this course? We simply, when this page is opening, we simply scan through the subscriptions pages, subscriptions records on the database, to see if there's a record that exists that contains this guy's user ID. We're gonna see it, but let us see pay. Let us put the pay button first. So we have this now. So I'm gonna create a new layer here, just a div class call md12. So it should occupy the full width, right? It's going to handle payment. Div, beautiful. So now we're gonna do the payment. The payment is gonna be a link, a href. We could get this link from our payments. The pay button, we should get it from the payment page, the payment processor. For instance, if we are going to be using PayPal, we will have to go to PayPal, and PayPal will give us this link. If we are using, which other one? Paystack is what I'll be using for this, but we have to go to Paystack and get this link. But for now, let us just add a fancy link there. Class. So the class is where you do it, but btn large LG large button that is what in color? Green. I think green makes sense. What do you think? Green is success. btn success. That gives you a green button, and you can say pay Is it pay or buy cost? Which one is better? Buy cost, pay, buy cost. You can figure that out during your own time, but I want people to be able to buy a certain course, buy course for a certain price, buy course. So this makes sense so far. So there is a buy cost here you can use. Another thing we can do is to actually put this buy cost somewhere here or right underneath here. I think that would have made sense. Right underneath here would have made perfect sense. So there is this buy cost button that we can put here. Buy now. Buy now makes sense. Buy now. Oh, so why is there this tiny little margin which I don't want? Because it's a button. So the immediate solution would be to remove this and remove this, then somehow put a BR tag. Alright, then let's try this first. Okay, this kind of makes sense. Buy now, 80. So you can just design this in your own way, alright? You can design this in your own way, but this works for me. So how to be a billionaire, and there's this course here, and then there's this, and where's the creator status, admin status, created and modified. I think that's one thing that would have been here. So created and modified. Updated it. If I copied the created and updated it and I put it right here, what will happen? If I put both of them right here, what will happen? Reload. I want them to appear here because of the empty space. I think this makes better sense that both of them are here. At least it blocks the empty space. Okay, so I think you can take your time, just do more better design. I'm going to remove this back button, and some of you might just be looking for it here. It's not on this page, it's on the page that calls this page. This is show fields page, right? Show fields is being imported into show blade. So if you click on show blade, you see that nothing much is there except that it is importing show fields. Then underneath here is where you see that back button. Look at it. See that back button. We don't need it. Save, reload, and it's done. So it is as if we've run into an error, of course, because it's like we're not logged in again. So it's complaining that property of object. It's good that you see how I resolve this issue. Okay, so this is the line. Look at this line, is painted a little red or brownish, and this line simply is making a call to the session. And if the user is logged out, this is going to have an issue. Alright, so that is what I think is happening there now. The user is logged out. So the way to know is if we go to the home page, we can tell if the user, you see Laravel has logged us out, that's why we're seeing login. Alright, if we log in and get back to that page, that error will not be there. If we log right in and get back to that page, if we go to courses and click on one course, see the error is gone because we're logged in now. So when you're writing your code, you should be careful of this kind of problem where you are checking the person that is logged in, and you're not checking whether the person is even logged in at all. You need to check whether somebody is even logged in at all. Alright, so to do that, we need to find where that potential problem is. This is one place that we used it on line 47, and I think we used it somewhere else. I think, okay, line 47 is okay. So one way to do that is somebody has to be logged in first before the person is either this or that. Okay, so I'll do if auth check. The Laravel auth check will confirm, will return true if somebody is logged in. Alright, then we can say and all of this grouped together. Alright, so somebody has to be logged in. If you are logged in and you are either this, or you are either an admin or the person that created the course. That's why I put them in brackets. So this must fulfill, and at least one of these must fulfill. So that's basic if-else statement in programming. So if you don't know it, then you may need to go back to some of your basics in programming. So that makes sense now. Now I think what we can do is to log out and come back to this page. Let me copy this page just to test what we did. Sign out. We are signed out now. So let's try and visit that page and see whether it will throw an error. No error. See, we're smart. We're very, very smart. Okay. So people can come to this course page without having to log in. They see everything, then they see a buy button, and then when they click on the buy, then other things can happen. Now I'm thinking, because of the design, that these two have to be under these two. What do you think? If we come here, what's those two? Category and author. So we have created and here. So we have category and author. So if we copy it underneath, where is it? Underneath these two. So we're going to paste underneath these two. Now about the user, we need to make it a link. Lest we forget href, so that if you're looking at the username, you can go to the users page and see all the other tutorials they have done. Users / we copy exactly this, paste here, and then we change it to ID. So when this person clicks here, it's going to take the person to user / this ID. So if I reload, these two should come up here. Beautiful. And why is this? Something is wrong with my code somewhere. Here, because I didn't close this, and I should have put something like that. Alright. Something is still wrong. Ahref equals this, because this is changing color. It's indicating that something is wrong. But let's go. Oh yeah, because I didn't do this and a question mark. Beautiful. So that's the importance of code coloring. It helps you to see when you're making a mistake. Okay, so now we can see the author's name. We can click on it, go to their profile, or we can see the category. You can click on it, go to the profile, or we can buy the course. If I click on author name, it takes me to the user's profile. We're still gonna come back and fix the user's profile and make it look good. But for now, I think this is generally okay for the course. Alright, so if we want to log in, we'll click on login. Don't worry that this whole thing is scattered now. We're gonna fix it later. It's just a design problem which I don't want to waste my time on for now. But we will surely come back fix it later, or you too, you can fix it in your own way. So we're good. we're good. Now, in case you're wondering why it's always landing on a blank page, it's because we told it in our routes that the default route goes to home, and we've not put anything in our home page, no HTML at all. Look at what I'm talking about. If we come to here, this home.blade, it's empty. That's not the spelling of empty. So you see empty, that's it. So we don't have anything yet there, but what I have in mind is to put user statistics inside it. Like when you log in, you see that I've bought 3 courses, I checked out 10 courses, whatever, statistics like that. You understand? That's what I want to put inside. So I hope the whole thing makes sense so far. And we've basically done 2 steps in the course. Click here, opens the course page. You read through, you decide if you want to buy, then you click the buy. But we still need to integrate payments to make this to work. Now what we have to work on now is the user profile and list of user page. To do that, I'll have to make myself an admin so that you can see this. We will integrate payments sometime towards the ending. So here, this has logged us out. I'll need to relog in. Alright, we find the Lara course, then we find users. Lara course, we find users and click on browse. Now the browse is going to, we're looking for role ID. Role ID. That's role ID 4. So I want to make myself an admin. Change that. I double clicked on that and change that 4 to 1 and I hit enter. Now I am an admin. If I come to my platform and reload, I'll see more menu here. Alright, so this is more menu. Beautiful. So what we're gonna do is we're going to use coupon. We're going to use users, alright, just to work out the users page. Now, no matter we did in the other one, we're going to remove all the things we don't need here, but we will leave some for admin first. For instance, let's remove the password first. That's users index. So we go to users index, users index. Index is important table, so we'll go to table. We'll still duplicate it, but let's remove the more general things that we don't need. Remember, token should be out and password should be out. Okay, so we remove remember token, then we remove password. So generally we don't want any other person to see this page, so only admin can see this page. There is a way to build that out, which I'll show you later on, but we don't need date of birth here. And do we need first and last name? I doubt we need first name, last name, date of birth. We don't need those 3. First name and last name should go, and the date of birth should go. So if we come here, first name and last name should go, then date of birth should go. I hope you understand what I'm saying, why I'm doing this. The reason I'm doing that is so that this place can contain the data we want to see, the important data we want to see. All the other data can be when we click on this. Alright. Okay, there's already name here, Dave. There's email. There's gender. Is it subscribed? We can fill this later, but just know that this page, the users will not see this page. There is no reason a user should ever see this page. Alright, except admins or moderators. We don't want users to see list of other users. Why would they do that? Alright, so view count, like how many times somebody has viewed this user's page. Let me show you an example. Role ID. So it's in the role ID, we don't have to put, we have to put the role. The role is admin moderator, so we don't have to use a number. So to do that, I'll remove role ID and put role. And in the role, we're going to do role colon name. The name is the field in the roles table, right? So, but it's gonna throw an error if we have not linked role to users in the model. So let's refresh first. It's not saying anything because we have not told users model how it is related to role model. Role model, that sounds cool, like a role model. Okay, so if we go to models, we did something in courses before about user. A course belongs to a user, right? The same thing, a user belongs to a role. So I'm going to copy this code, go to user, and somewhere at the bottom paste it, but I'll change it to role. So I'll call this role and say belongs to a user belongs to app models role. This is app folder and models folder inside app folder, then role, the role function. And then we have to also reverse it, that a role has many users. So let's go reload. There is a problem, column not found, unknown column roles related as where clause. So it appears that somehow a mistake slipped through in the roles table. We did not have a deleted at. You see, there's created at, updated at, but there's no deleted at. How did it happen? But we're going to have to do that at updated at. We're going to add it, make it a timestamp, right? Make it nullable. So just click go here. So deleted at. It's going to be a timestamp. Timestamp can be really hard to find. I'm just going to type T on my keyboard. T till it finds timestamp. We found it, hit enter, and we're good. And what is it nullable? Yes, it is nullable. And then I hit save. Here's the save button. Save. If I refresh now, that error should be gone, but our editing has not completed. Remember, every time you save something in the database, you change something in the database, you need to go and change it to in the migration. So go to database migration under roles migration. So the reason why we are changing it in roles migration is just out of good habit. All right, if you don't change it, nothing will happen. It's just that in case we ever have to run PHP Artisan migrate again next time, that error will not be there. That's why we're changing it here. Not that we can't proceed without it. So we're gonna do table soft deletes. That's how you add that deleted at field. Soft deletes. Okay, we're good. But it seems we have a problem, and that problem is that it's still not showing yet. We're supposed to write a name here. So let's debug that. Go to users table, role. A user belongs to a role, yeah? Okay. Where are we? Where did we write it? I'm trying to find that place we wrote it. It's easy to get lost in the midst of files. Okay, let me just go trace it back. So we had it in resources, users. So we are in resources, and under resources we are in users, and we're in table. So this is where we are, and we're trying to print out user role name. Yeah, this should work. So why is it not working? So the reason it's not working is obvious. We have not actually created any roles that has names. So we can come here and click on insert. So the first role we want to insert the name. You leave this field empty because this database management software PHPMyAdmin will automatically increment, put the numbers here. So the first role is admin, and we don't need all this. Then the second role is a moderator, or whatever staff that works with the admin. If we click go, we can now create 2 more. So just to show you, if we refresh now, the name should appear. Reload, keep your eye here, and right there, you see admin, moderator. Then the third one should be like instructor, and the fourth one should be students, instructor, students. I think it should have been plural, instructors. Okay, so if we refresh now, we will be good. You see, email verified that. So this tells us when the user verified their email. So we have email verified at view count, how many times they have viewed the profile, which means if we click on this now to view this profile, by the time we're back, this view count will increase to 2. Let's go confirm, because I remember we did it somewhere before. I'm refreshing to increase it to 3. Who knows if we did it before? So if we reload now, yeah, see, we did it in the beginning of this course. There's no way you would have skipped it. We wrote a small code that automatically increases view counts. So now we know how many times this profile has been viewed. Other things we don't know is who viewed this profile. Those things are like secondary. We can code it. Once you open a profile, it tracks that you have already viewed this profile. Alright. Okay, so we're good so far. Now what I want to do is to make this email a link, so that our name, email, I think email works, so that people can click on this email to go view, instead of just clicking here. So we go to this table, we'll find that link, that's this one, copy it, then we'll come to where email is, paste it, and then copy the email. Then we can remove that it's a button, this class button thingy, we remove it. Then the whole icon thingy, we remove it, we don't need an icon. What's happening? Okay, so this is what we're left with, just a link, and then I can paste the email here, so that the email becomes a link. If we reload now, the email becomes a link. Remember, you can use CSS to change the color of your links. Like, I don't like this color, but I don't have time to come change it. So somebody clicks here, it simply takes you to the user view page. So the next thing we're going to fix is this page. As you can see, this page is a total mess. So this page is in users show. Alright, this is the page everybody gets to see. Show fields. The first thing we're going to delete is the password. Nobody ever needs to see that mangled up password. Nobody. And then there is the token. Remember token, nobody needs to see it. It's just for internal use by Laravel. Now we got 2 of them out. Only admin needs to see deleted at. In case somebody deletes their profile, only admin needs to see when it was deleted. Let's say only admin. Let me even write the code. The code is simple. It just says that since the user profile can be seen from outside the login, we can say if this user is logged in, auth check if the user is logged in, and then every other thing we're writing, and the logged in user auth, the user that is logged in, role ID is less than 3. So the reason I removed that previous bracket is because this is just one condition. If we had another condition here, like or whatever, I'll put it in brackets. So hit enter, and if. Alright, so created at, instead of created at, we're going to call it joined, so we can see when you're joined. And of course we're gonna do what we did the other time, where we just made some things like call md12, not 12 is too broad, I think 6 is okay. Call md 6 6 6 6. I think this makes a little sense, as you will soon find out. We don't need the ID. Reload. You see, this is the user's profile: the first name, the email, the last name, the gender, the date of birth, and so on. So we're gonna have to hide date of birth. There are some things only the owner of this platform can see, and one of them is date of birth. Only the owner of this profile can see date of birth, so we're gonna put it at the bottom here. Let's do the kind of thing we did here. Date of birth can only be seen by owner if user ID is equal to user ID. So if the currently logged in person is equal to this, then they can see date of birth. Or if they are an admin. So I want to put, okay, so we can and so we can say or, put a bracket here, and then do an or, and copy this. So admin also, whatever the owner of this profile can see, admin should be able to see that also. So date of birth, only admin can see it. The last time this profile was modified, yeah, only the owner can see it. Last updated. And the role, so we've learned how to do this. We just need to do name. So the role, instead of role ID, it's role. So joined view counts, that's how many people have viewed this profile. We'll find a way to sneak it in somewhere. Profile viewed. I think it should just be like something here. Profile viewed X times. Text muted. Maybe this should be 12. Unexpected this. Which line? On line 71, there's an error on line 71. Oh, I think I found the error. We had one arrow, line 71. Laravel can be pretty confusing when it comes to some of this naming, so I'm sure it's not 71. So here we needed an extra. That's it. Oops. Yeah, we needed two. Okay. So if I reload now, it should be fine. That's it. Provide build 6 times. This is cool. Another thing is we can move it text right. I think it's text right that you can use to move it. So to really work on this kind of platform, you should know your Bootstrap very well. Like I said, I have Bootstrap. You see, it's now on the right. Profile build 7 times. Alright, we're gonna remove this back button, and you remember how we do that in users. We go to show, and this is the back button. I'm going to delete this line and save and refresh. It will be gone, and we're just going to make sure that the rest is okay. It's subscribed. Only admin should be able to see it's subscribed. So we'll go to show filter blade and look for is subscribed. Profile viewed, subscribed. Okay, email verify that. Only admin should be able to see this too. So admin can see when it was deleted. Email verify that. And okay, I think we're good. We'll reload. Joined. Alright, we need to fix joined. So when we look at joined, it's format. I hope you remember how we do the format. The format is R minutes A. We put dash day, month, year, and that sorts our problem. We logged out, but that kind of sorts a problem by 11:26 a.m. Okay, so we continue. So the next thing we're going to do, which we forgot to do in the other one, when we were working on courses, we'll go back and do that, is to add all the other related tables. For instance, we need to know all the courses this user created. All right, beautiful. And also, going forward, we also need to know all the courses this user has bought or subscribed to. So in that respect, I will just we'll start with all the courses this user has. So if we go here, we'll see how its show fields is imported. We'll do the same thing. Oops, copy, paste, and import courses. So courses. So we're gonna do courses table. Just go to the courses table and show us the table for all the courses. All right, we're still going to do something, but let's just see what happens. If we have not linked the user table to the model of courses, the user model to the courses model, we're going to get this error. See, undefined variable courses. Yes, of course, that's because we didn't link it. Now we're going to go to there are many ways you can do what I'm about to do now, but I would like to do it this way just for simplicity purpose. So go to app controllers. We're going to users function for show, and we're going to download all the courses that this user took. That's what we're trying to do here. We go to users, user controller, then show. Look at show. This function is what handles this page, users / the user ID. That's the function that handles it. Okay, so we want to right here, go to the database and fetch all the courses taken by this user and pass it along here. All right. So let's start with from the back. For no reason, duplicate this, delete this, and pass it along. I'm going to do courses. Alright, so we're not just passing the user details, we're passing the courses the user took. Now we have to go to the database and download it. So right here, we go to, we'll name it courses equal to course. Go to the courses database where the user ID, user underscore ID, is the ID here. Once you find that, get all of them. This is beautiful. So we're getting all the courses that this user has created. Okay, courses this user created. This is different from courses this user has subscribed to. You understand? Because we need to consult a different table for that. We need to consult the course user table to get courses this user has subscribed to. Alright, but for now, let's do this because of simplicity. If we refresh now, our error should be gone. And oh yeah, the error we're having now is that we're using this model without importing it. So every time you're going to make such a call, you have to import it at the top of here. So the way to import it is to say use, go to app folder, go to models folder, and you find a file called course. Alright, so that's how we import course. If we refresh now, we should be clean of errors. And we're good. See? How to be a billionaire. That's course. So I think we should put a title here just to make everything fine. Come here. We put a title H2, H3, I don't know which one. H2 courses. H3. So we could call it my courses. Courses are created. Courses are created because we need to go ahead and do something else as we're going up forward. Courses. We still need to put a tab here so that the person can see courses I subscribe to or bought, courses I created. Alright, so but for now, this is what I want to leave it as my courses. My courses. Okay, the other one could be my subscriptions. Okay, my courses. So using Bootstrap, we can position this in the center. Class text center. My courses for now. Alright, refreshing, and surprise, it didn't go to the center. The reason it didn't go is because this does not occupy the full width. So we can say call MD12 so that this will stretch the full width of the screen, which then this will put the courses in the center. Alright, then we go to see my courses. Cool. Alright, I think we're done basically on this. We will be back later on when we're working on subscriptions to add the subscriptions here, but we need to quickly get back to courses. Courses, course categories, courses, my courses, no. So why do we have courses twice? I think I have to delete one for now. So to do that, we have to go to layouts menu. I'll delete my courses. I'll delete my courses. Instead, I'll comment it out. Reload. My courses should be gone. So we just have courses subscriptions. Okay, course category. So click on courses. We'll select a course. Now there are several things we need to know about this course right from here at the bottom. We need to know how many users are subscribed to this course. Alright, we need to know how many users are subscribed to this course. And then in users table, we need to know how many courses this user has subscribed to. Now to do that, we have to look at a unique table that we have, And that unique table is the, if we go to the model, if we go to app, then we'll go to models. There is a unique model called course user we created. So the course user model is supposed to be that join table between the model and the course user cast. Alright, so this is the join table. Now we're going to use Laravel methodology to join to put some code here that will join the course and the user table very easily. Now to do that, I would like to take you to Laravel platform. Okay, under the documentations, you come to Eloquent, and we're looking at relationships. Now the kind of relationship we're looking at is many-to-many relationship. Alright, so this is it, defining relationship, many-to-many. If we click on it, you can take your time and read out here what this basically defines a many-to-many relationship between a user and roles table. So the very first step is to go to the user model and tell it how it belongs to course. So a user belongs to many courses. So I think we've done something similar to that. So a user belongs to many courses, alright? A user belongs to many courses. So we're going to call it courses, app models, course. Okay, so we do the same thing for course. Alright, we have to go tell courses that it belongs to many users. So now, now you have to see where we run into the first issue, because we've already had this that says it's just a belong to instead of belong to. So this is the relationship it has with one user, but it can have a different relationship with many users. So we have users, it belongs to many app models, user. Okay, now we have this. So the thing is, you should just take your time, read through this so you understand much better how it works. But now we can start doing really nice stuff like pulling up all the list of users that have subscribed. So, but I want to quickly show you what the table looks like. So you just to refresh your memory, we have course user. This table, we built it to tell us which user subscribed to which course. That's just what the table exists for. It's just for keeping records. We don't even need an interface for it. We don't need HTML for it. You understand? Because we'll just display it on the courses page. So I think the first thing we need to do is to manually create a record in our subscriptions table. So I'll go to subscriptions table and create a record, because if there is no record, it doesn't matter what we do, we wouldn't be able to see anything here, right? So we need to see a record. Okay, so here we'll go to course, course user. I'll just click on insert. Let us say here that user 1 is subscribed to course 1, and then paid date. Let's say the person paid on this date, and expiry date. Let's say the expiry date is on this. Oops, I think this is too much. Let's do March 3. Beautiful. And what else? Date it was created. Let's say it was created today. And not else. Status, it's active. Alright, we can just do the same thing here. User 1 subscribed to course 2, and paid date. We'll just choose a date. Expiry date, sometime in the future. Sometime in the future. And what else? Paid amount. Okay, yeah, paid amount. Let's say paid 3,000 whatever currency. Paid amount 7,000 whatever currency. And what else? Plan. We can leave others. So far so good. Created at today. Expiry, deleted at status. Okay, go. Value for column user account at row. Incorrect integer value. Okay. It's complaining about this, that we should make this user account ID null. We should make it null. I'll just put something here for now. User account ID. But I'll make it null shortly. So it has gone. So I'll come to structure and make user account ID null. This should be nullable. I don't know why it was not nullable. In fact, the two of them should be nullable. Yeah, expiry date should be nullable. Paid date should be nullable. Plan status by default null. Okay, so now we're going to go to change. In change, we're just going to enable all the null. So before I submit them, I want to go change this in the database migrations. So go to migration for course user, migrations, database, migrations. We're looking for course user table, course user table, course user table. Remember that course user table is just another name for subscriptions table. Okay, so we are looking for course ID. Course ID should be nullable. And the reason, in case you don't understand, is the person could be subscribing to a course, or they could be subscribing to another user. That's why we did that. And I think this should also carry the category. I don't know why we didn't do it, but it should have category. In case we, in the future, want people to be able to subscribe to category or full user account. For this course or this tutorial, we'll just be covering only course ID. Alright? But it's good that we have category ID here. Save. What else is nullable? I think some of these other. Expiry date is nullable. If you do lifetime subscription, paid date is nullable. The reason it's nullable is that so that we can subscribe people without them paying first. While they are processing the payment, we've already subscribed them. That's why. Okay, so we click save and we're good. So we now have two records. Now we can start working with it. First of all, we have to import the table. Okay, so we're going to import the table. We go to cost show. So we go to resources and views. We're looking for courses table. Courses. We're looking for show.blade. Right here, courses have show.blade. We have to import user, right? Say users show fields, I think. Yeah, so this shows us the list of users that are subscribed to this course. But if we refresh now, we have an error. It's saying that undefined variable user. Yeah, because we've not linked it correctly. So it's showing on show fields, users show fields on profile viewed. Okay, no, not show fields. We're linking the wrong. We're supposed to link users table. Table is the list of users. So we're going to users folder, linking the list, the table that displays the list of users. Let's reload and see. Okay, now we have a different error. It says undefined variable users. So if we come here, we will see that it's not just seeing the variable at all. The reason is that we've not done what we are due diligence in app HTTP controllers. Now we're going to course we're going to course controller, and we're going to show function. I'm scrolling through to look for show function under course controller, and this is it. So this place, what this function does is go to fetch the course details using the ID that was passed in. This ID is this number you're seeing here. So number 1 is passed in. It goes to the database, fetches the details of course number 1, checks if that course actually exists, whether it returned empty. If it returned empty, to cancel and redirect back with an error. Otherwise, it will open the course page. Now we need to let it know that it should also fetch the not just course, it should fetch the user's details. Now if we get back to Laravel under many to many, you will see how to retrieve details of the other table. I'm looking for it. So this is how to retrieve details. So you're going to call that function. So Laravel simply says, hey, you're just going to define a variable and then make a call to the database as usual, but you need to attach the function that you created in the model. This rows function is what we created in the model. Remember the models that we have course. So here we created a function called users. Now we're going to attach it. We're going to make a call to the database and attach it. All right, so let's see how this goes. I'm lost right now looking for the file I opened last. Look at it. Okay, so we found the course exists. Now let's go to the database. Let's paste what we have here. Or maybe I should type it directly for you. So we're going to the database. Let's call it users. We're going to the database, the table, the course table, and we are looking for where the ID is, the ID that was brought in. Alright, then we attach users to it. You see how it's making sense? Now we attach users to it. We now say get all. This get function basically says get the list. If you wanted to find only one item, you tell it just fine. Alright, so this, and then we have to pass it to the view. As the view is loading, it's passing this variable. We need to pass this one too. We'll come back and refactor this code. Let it just work first. So you see I've duplicated it, then I'll change this. I'll do course. I think we have what we're looking for now. So now let's go and refresh our page, and the error should be done. And it is saying call to undefined method users. So why is users undefined? Users is not undefined. Okay, I think what's happening here is simple. You can't attach this kind of, you can't chain, it's called chain, you can't chain this kind of function on a where method. It has to be find. Let me change it to find now, you'll see. So if we reload now, you see it's gone. Now if we scroll, this is the user page. Alright, if we scroll to the bottom, we will see the list of users that are subscribed. You see, view count 19. This profile has been viewed 19 times. This is the user, but our Laravel has logged us out. Like I said, I'll sort this problem of constant logging out later on. Login, and we get right back to courses. So we'll see the first course now, and what we see at the bottom is list of the user that is subscribed. Now what we're going to do is what we did the other time, of course, put a title above it, and we're going to work out some of these links. Some of these need to be removed. Okay, because this table is the same table that admin sees when admin clicks on users. Look at what happens when admin clicks on users. This is the same table. So we don't want it to be the same table. We want to remove some fields, alright, so that the owner cannot see all the fields that admin is able to see. So we have to duplicate this table. So if we go to resources, views, we go to users, then under users there is a table we're looking for. We have fields, alright. This is table. I'll copy it and click on users and paste. So it has renamed itself, alright. Now I'm gonna call one admin, or I'm just gonna call it user, rename table user, call it table user dot blade. I think it makes sense this way, table user dot blade. So when we come back to where we attached it under courses, course, and we, oops, what am I doing? Okay, yeah, we're good. So courses show blade. You see, instead of importing table, we have importing table user. So what it just did is we now have a different table we can work with. Now I can go into table user and remove some things. I don't need email verified at. I don't need it subscribed. Alright, I don't think I need it subscribed. The gender is okay. The view count, we don't need the view count. We don't need the role. You don't need to know the role of the person. Email, whether they are verified, their email is not your concern as a normal user. Is subscribed could be different from paid. Subscribe, paid. Do we really need that? I don't think so. Okay, that's it. I think one thing we could have is the paid amount they paid. Let's say whether we are taking it out. We're not checking the amount the user paid, the course user, the amount they paid for the subscription. I don't think so. I think we need to actually track it. We need to track the paid amount. Yeah, we have it, of course. The paid amount, what we don't have is paid dates. Which date did they pay? We don't have it here. Okay, paid date, we have it. This is beautiful. So I think what we should track instead is paid amount. So I'm gonna say paid amount they paid. So somewhere we removed the view count, email verified is subscribed. We removed role too. So I'm just gonna say so there's a way to actually pull out what you're looking for, alright, in the pivot table in Laravel. So if you go to this Laravel page where they had many to many, and if you keep reading down, you'll see how to pull out. It's called pivot. We scroll down, you see pivot. Alright, now we're working with role. I hope you understand what's happening. We have users table, we have courses table, two different tables. Alright, now we have a join table in between that we call course user. Alright, so what's happening here is that we're able to retrieve, with this we're able to retrieve the content in the users table, but what we want to retrieve now is the content in the course user table, which is the join table. This particular table, we want to retrieve these fields. So the way to do it in Laravel is that you have to add this pivot. Alright, so we have to add pivot. I call it pivot, but some other people might be calling it pivot. I think that's the way Americans call it, pivot. Alright, so we call it the pivot table. So this pivot table, we're pivoting to that join table, and the table we're looking for is paid amount. Paid amount. That's the field we're looking for. So let's go check out. I'll put a $sign here so we can track it. Let's go check out what's happening right here. Reload. Okay, not on this. I think it's on courses. So refresh. And at the bottom, you see did we have any paid amount? I doubt. For user 1 paid amount, I think we entered the paid amount. Let's see on browse. So we scroll to paid amount. We have. So why is it not displaying? it is not displaying because, okay, of course there is just a little adjustment we need to make. All right, but before, for this to work, right? So but before this works, there is something I just want to take you back a little. If you come to course, you will notice that we made another call. While I was doing this, you would have observed, like I told you, I'll come back and refactor, right? We made another call to the courses database, and guess what we're doing? We're finding all the courses again, just as we already did here. So you don't do this in programming, you don't repeat yourself in programming, and then we're now chaining users. All right, but we've already told it in the model that, hey, you're connected to users, so this entire line is not needed. Now why I did this is just to show you the other way to do that, all right, in case you run into problem any day. But we don't really need this whole line, since this one is already making the call, and according to our specification in the model about the relationship, it will intelligently go and fetch the users, all right? So which means also, if we are smart enough, we don't need to pass the users too into the view, since this course variable contains users. It contains users like this, right? That users function is contained here, so we can access it by using this arrow. Okay, so one thing we can do is pass the course into the view. Then when we get to the view, when we get to the view here that we're doing a for each to display all users, we're going to do course users. You see, course users. Now what it means is it's simple. It will just do exactly the same thing. Course users as user, it's going to do exactly the same thing, and this is supposed to work now but for something. In the model, let's get back to the model. Let me show you something. There is a way Laravel thinks by default. So in the model course, while we're specifying this model automatically just takes only two fields with it. All right, let me show you what I mean. Let me take you just a little deeper to explain this so you understand. So if we come here and do dd, in case a variable is messing up in Laravel, you use dd to see what the content is. So if I come here and reload, it's going to throw a black page that shows me the data that is coming in. So if we go to somewhere around original, I think origin attributes, nope, original should have it. On original, what I am looking for is not available here. Instead, it is available in what we just deleted. I'm just going to do this, and yeah, don't worry, we'll be back. So it's available here. If we do dd users, all right, if we do dd users, let me show you what will happen. If we reload, okay, beautiful. Now, so if we go to user and we look at original, okay, we'll see that at the bottom it's giving us all the things in users table, but at the bottom it's also containing the ID. You see, pivot underscore course ID, pivot underscore user ID. It's telling us it's containing two fields from the pivot table. Let me show you another example. If we come on relations and look at pivot, let's see what's in pivot. The only two keys it's containing, the only two fields is course ID and user ID. But in reality, when we go to a pivot table, we will see that this pivot table has so many fields, but Laravel is only picking only two. All right. So if we want it to pick more, we will have to go to the database, to the model right here. While we are calling it, we're gonna do with pivots. Then we start stating the fields that we want it to contain. First one I want it to contain is paid amount. I think I should bring this down, enter, without pressing space. You press enter without pressing space. Bring this down too, and I can duplicate as much as I want. Okay, now I can start looking at fields I want. Paid date, expiry date. paid date, expiry underscore date. So depending on how many fields you want it to always pull out at once, there is plan, there is paid amount, there is plan, and what else do we need? Created at, I think created at should be there too. Let us know the date that the person subscribed. And what else do we need? User account ID, user account ID, category ID, user account ID. So we are chaining all this. Now if you're wondering where I got this from, the Laravel documentation clearly states it. I think I should just search with pivot. Look at it. So as you're chaining it, you chain with pivot so you can start mentioning the columns. So we're gonna try right now. Okay, we're gonna try right now. Let's just refresh first. I'm going to have to remove this DD. Category ID, course user. Why is it looking for category ID? Do we have category ID here? I don't think so. Obviously it's looking for category ID because some minutes ago we went to our categories database migration and added category ID. We added it in the migration. This is what I mean. Under database migrations, under course user, we added this extra field, but we didn't add it in the database itself. So we didn't come here to add extra field. I would have said go just to add an extra field. So category ID 11. Can it be null? Yes, it can be null. Then I click save. If we refresh now, the error is gone and it's now showing the amount. So very beautifully. Now we're going to just clean up what we have. The first step in cleaning up is to identify what you need to remove. Alright, so here I'm just going to drag this. So this is the last section of this video. So right here, we're passing users in. We remove the users and remove this. So we're just passing only course. So if I go to the table that is displaying them, I'll just do course, and this should work. Reload. Works perfectly. So I know now you now understand how it works. So we're just going to have to put a title here. The title was just say the title of where we're getting it from the course show Blade. So we're calling this, we're just gonna do what we did before, h3. The h3 class, the class will be co-md12. Then we'll have to do text center. We will still change this later when we start putting tabs, but it's okay. We can just do subscribers. Alright, as beautiful as it seems, we're all good. We're all good. So just one more thing, table user, because I don't like the way the user table is spread out. We could go to users, table user. I would have loved to call that table course, but it's okay, it's alright. So here in the table, I want to say that the class should be co-md12. I want it to stretch forth just for design sake. it didn't, and I wouldn't waste my time on this looking why it didn't stretch. There is a bootstrap class for that. I think there's a bootstrap class for that. So the special bootstrap way to do that is to remove the table responsive class here from here and put it in a separate div above div class table responsive, and then close the div, then come to the bottom and close the div. So this way, as expected, you see, now works. So if you want table to spread, depending on the version of Bootstrap, alright, depending on the version of Bootstrap, normal version of Bootstrap, table responsive inside the table element should work, but in some versions of Bootstrap, Bootstrap 4 Alpha, Bootstrap 4 Beta, whatever, you might